We now move to a company pitch from Golomt Bank. Please welcome Ms. Erdenesaikhan, Head of Investor Relations at Golomt Bank. Ms. Hoko brings over 6 years of experience at Golomt Bank, where she previously served as Senior Economic Analyst and Senior ALM Specialist. She now leads the bank's investor relations strategy, strengthening engagement with global partners. Please put your hands together.
So thank you for joining us today. I'm delighted to be representing the bank. So let me kick off my pitch. So the banking sector is often seen as the proxy for the broader economy, and in Mongolia's case, that is very true. Today, the banking sector represents around 86% of total GDP, which shows how closely financial stability and economic performance are linked. So within this context, Golomt Bank plays a leading role in shaping the sector. So the banking sector has grown strongly in recent years, with total assets increasing to reaching closely 85 trillion MNT, which is roughly around 24 billion USD. And about 87% of these assets are concentrated in 5 DSIBs, and Golomt Bank is one of those core institutions supporting economic growth. So from a competitive perspective, Golomt Bank holds a leading market position. As of 2025 year-end, we account for around 21% of total loans, 19% of total deposits, and 22% of total assets in the system. This scale reflects both our reach and confidence customers place in us, and we also benefit from a well-balanced loan portfolio across corporate, SME, retail, and mortgage segments. Golomt Bank is the largest corporate bank in Mongolia and the second largest consumer bank, allowing us to support both large enterprises and households. At the same time, we continue to outperform peers on asset quality, maintaining stable and relatively low NPL levels. And our financial strength and risk management are further supported by strong external validation. Golomt Bank is rated by 3 rating agencies, B1 stable by Moody's and Fitch, and B+ positive by S&P Global. And we have a good international and domestic capital market presence with more than 21,000 domestic equity investors and 80 global fixed income investors who invested in our international bonds. So I wanted to briefly touch on how Golomt Bank's debut bond issuance has directly supported our growth story and how that growth is clearly reflected in our credit expansion. So since the bond issuance, we've seen strong and consistent loan growth across all key segments: corporate, SME, consumer, and mortgages. And this growth was not only about increasing scale, but also about expanding responsibly, especially into rural areas where access to finance plays a critical role in supporting livelihoods and local development. Importantly, this growth has gone hand in hand with sustainability. We expanded credit to SMEs, households, and rural communities, while at the same time increasing our green lending, as shown by the rising green loans to total loans ratio. So what I want to emphasize on this is that this level of expansion required careful planning, strong credit discipline, and significant effort from our teams, including expanding our credit risk management structure internally. And despite rapid growth, we've maintained one of the strongest asset quality profiles in Mongolian banking sector. Our stage 3 ratio loans have continued to decline, even as the balance sheet expanded, which is a key indicator of sound risk management. And at the same time, we've preserved a well-balanced loan portfolio with healthy diversification across sectors and customer segments. And this balance helps protect the bank through economic cycles and supports stable, sustainable growth. So overall, the bond issuance acted as more of a catalyst, and it allowed us to grow faster, reach further into the economy, and support communities in rural areas, and to do so without compromising asset quality. So Golomt Bank was originally established as a corporate bank, and for more than 30 years, we've built strong long-term relationship with Mongolia's leading companies. Today, we are the largest corporate bank to service 95% of the country's top enterprises. And our corporate banking relationship-driven and corporate banking is more relationship-driven and focused on key industries such as energy, petroleum, cashmere, agriculture, and manufacturing sectors. These sectors are central to Mongolia's economic growth and exports. And in these industries, we provide lending and transaction banking and trade finance tailored to each client's needs. So these relationships give us a major advantage in our deposit base, as large corporate current accounts provide proven long-term stable funding and help keep funding costs low. As a result, Golomt Bank maintains a balanced funding structure with among the highest CASA ratio, helping the bank stay resilient through different economic cycles. And additionally, we have the largest gold trading market share of 48%, which supports diversify our revenue streams into non-interest income. So beyond traditional banking, we're also known for providing non-financial services to our clients. And these include advisory services, market insights, and executive engagement to help our clients navigate growth and regulation and market changes. And a good example of this is our Financial Managers Convention, an annual event that has become an important platform for Mongolia's corporate sector. Over the past 6 years, it's brought together more than 1,000 financial managers from leading companies to share ideas, discuss strategy, and learn from each other. So following our debut bond issuance, we significantly expanded our SME lending, achieving 77% loan growth since the year-end 2023. So this reflects both strong demand and critical role SMEs play in Mongolia's economy. Sustained growth in SME sector is essential for reducing income inequality and unemployment across the country. So in collaboration with leading Mongolian enterprises, we've launched a transformative mentorship and advisory program aimed at fostering emerging businesses. This initiative connects founders and executives within SME leaders, offering hands-on guidance and strategic insights supported by professional consultants. The mentorship program has been successfully held for the 4th year and have reached 162 SMEs in building know-how and a good community. So Mongolia has one of the highest shares of women-owned SMEs in the world, with more than 60% of small and medium-sized businesses led by women. While men tend to run large companies, women are mostly active in SMEs. However, women entrepreneurs face real barriers in accessing finance. Especially property is usually registered in men's name, which often means women need spousal consent to use assets as collateral. And even when women receive loans, they're often smaller and more expensive, which clear gaps in loan size and interest rates compared to men. So women-owned businesses are active in a few key sectors: trade and retail, services including education, healthcare, tourism and personal services, and light manufacturing such as food processing and garments. And with the support of our bond issuance and funding from international partners and investors, our women-led portfolio has doubled over the past 3 years. Importantly, this portfolio remains highly resilient with an NPL ratio of just 1.9%, underscoring that women entrepreneurs are among our most disciplined and reliable customers. Please note that this 1.9% ratio is on the Bank of Mongolia accounting standards, which is different from IFRS. So Golomt Bank is at the forefront of supporting women-owned businesses through initiatives such as She Leads and She Stars, as well as women-owned trademarks in a partnership with Mongolian Chamber of Commerce. We have helped women entrepreneurs build networks, support one another, and create sustainable ecosystems of partnership and growth, which is very important factor for building a long-lasting business. So Golomt Bank is the second largest consumer bank with 108 strategically placed branch network throughout the most densely populated areas of the vast Mongolian landscape. We cover more than 30% of the total population, and our customer base largely reflects the Mongolian population pyramid. And Golomt Bank is a lifetime bank. We offer products from newborn babies to elementary school, through high school students, to university students and throughout their youth. With these products, we aim to establish a good financial health from an early on period of one's life. So going forward to adulthood, we offer wealth management services, which offer investments into capital market products and advisory services and into pension products. And Golomt Bank positions itself as a family bank, offering a wide range of products for customers at different stages of their life. And these include mortgage and leasing products. We have the largest market share in mortgage loans, and this allows us to support our customers as their needs grow and change over time. So Mongolia's demographic strongly supports this. The country has a high birth rate of around 2.7 births per woman, compared to about 2.1 in many Asian countries. So this means long-term demand for housing, education, daily consumption, and financial services. And Golomt Bank has the nationwide network and experience to service this growing population across the country. And Mongolia has a very young population, with about 76% of the total population under the age of 40. And this group is highly digital, with widespread smartphone use and strong adoption of online services. And this allows Golomt Bank to grow efficiently through digital channels while still maintaining strong physical coverage nationwide. So at the heart of our transformation is SocialPay, Mongolia's most widely used digital wallet with over 800,000 users. And it's also the first Mongolian wallet to support international payments via UnionPay, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and WeChat Pay, enabling users to do transactions from their mobile phone in more than 50 countries. So today, 98% of our transactions are conducted online. This is a clear reflection of our commitment to digital-first banking and customer convenience. So we've actively increased our digital banking customer base by 25% since our debut issuance. And today, our total digital clients have reached 1 million customers, and we see there is threefold room to grow in the digital banking economy. So Golomt Bank is proud to be the key player in digital innovation in the Mongolian financial sector. So as part of our strategic transformation, we are now entering the next chapter, which is AI-powered virtual banking. And Golomt Bank has strategically invested in Igune AI and holds an equity stake in the company, which is Mongolia's largest AI infrastructure provider and is widely known for developing Mongolia's first ever large language model, designed specifically for the Mongolian language, culture, and nomadic traditions. The platform supports speech-to-text with a voice-first, hands-free experience and over 97% accuracy in Mongolian. And it also offers text-to-speech, understanding natural conversational Mongolian, and responding with clear, natural-sounding Mongolian voice output. So with this, our AI virtual banking project is designed to enhance customer experience, streamline operations, and future-proof our services. And we plan to enable AI services throughout two domains, which is customer-directed AI services, which includes AI chatbot, AI branch assistant, AI sales engine, and employee-directed AI tools, which include virtual employee and internal chatbot, etc. So Golomt Bank is committed to setting a domestic benchmark in investor relations. We firmly believe that open, consistent, and transparent engagement is fundamental to earning and sustaining long-term investor confidence. And with this principle at the core of our approach, we place equal importance on communication with institutional investors and individual shareholders alike, ensuring fair, timely, and consistent access to information for all. So to support this commitment, we have made a deliberate investment in building a strong and professional investor relations function, and this has included close collaboration with an external advisory firm, comprehensive investor assessments, and internal workshops with senior management aimed at strengthening stakeholder engagement and communication practices across the bank. As a result of these efforts, Golomt Bank has became the first bank in Mongolia to host quarterly earnings call. We also maintain a detailed and transparent investor relations calendar on our website, alongside with management discussion and analysis, a CO letter to shareholders, and other key disclosures. And in addition to these, we regularly host analyst days and engage with investors through private group and one-on-one meetings. So to ensure continuous and meaningful engagement, we maintain regular communication through monthly investor newsletter, routine Q&A sessions with senior management, and ongoing dialogue via in-person meetings, virtual forums, and direct email outreach. We also remain actively connected with our retail and minority shareholder community by hosting earnings call on their own platforms and organizing annual investor days with them. So ultimately, our objective is simple: and consistent to provide a clear, timely, and equal access to information while fostering long-term trust-based relationships. So with good investor engagement, we are successfully and strategically expanding our global presence since we issued our debut bond in 2024, which was listed on the Singapore Stock Exchange. And this bond has been a first standalone issuance from a Mongolian bank since a decade-long held. And we issued the bonds at 11% initially. And after 6 months, we have successfully tapped our bonds at 350 basis points yield compression at 8.5%. After then, we've successfully issued our ESG bonds listed in the Luxembourg Stock Exchange at 8% with a 5-year tenor, which was the lowest corporate bond coupon with the highest tenor. And in 2025, we've reached an exciting milestone and became Mongolia's first ever private sector samurai bond issuer in Japan, issued at JPY 15 billion, or approximately 98 billion USD. The bond was issued with a 3-year tenor with a highly competitive yield of 1.85%. This attracted participation from more than 30 Japanese institutional investors. This transaction showed growing confidence among international investors in both Golomt Bank and in Mongolian financial sector. So the issuance coincided with Golomt Bank's 30th year anniversary. We named the transaction project Sanju, meaning 30 in Japanese. With this milestone, now we have more than 80 fixed income investors globally. And over the past 1 to 2 years, Golomt Bank has laid a strong foundation for sustainable financing. This groundwork played a key role in securing funding from funding of 160 million USD from the IFC through a syndicate loan. And additionally, we've secured funding with the EBRD of 20 million. So with these developments and our long-term impact fund partners, Golomt Bank has managed to diversify our funding structure to a more stronger and wider funding base. So lastly, this slide really shows how Golomt Bank approaches sustainability, and not just through financing, but through a full ecosystem of impact. We're active across 7 out of 8 eligible green and sustainable sectors. To date, we have financed 406 billion in sustainable and green projects, and these initiatives have supported 4,477 jobs and generated 205 billion MNT in value added to the economy. And Golomt Bank is also recognized as a water ambassador bank. This recognition reflects our targeted financing of water-related projects, including clean water infrastructure, gray water recycling systems, and water reservoir developments. And these projects play an important role in strengthening ecosystems, supporting nature conservation, and improving long-term water security for communities, as well as the environment. And in 2025, Golomt Bank was awarded Best Sustainable Bank by the Mongolian Sustainable Finance Association, recognizing our continued commitment to environmental impact. And one example would be the Eco Heat Pump project, which addresses air pollution in Ulaanbaatar at the household level by supporting 300 households in highly polluted Gir districts to transition from coal-based heating to energy-efficient heat pumps. The project is expected to reduce 840 tons of coal consumption and cut to 2,100 tons of CO2 emissions annually, an impact equivalent to planting around 95,000 trees. So all of our sustainability impact is independently assessed and assured through partnerships with leading global institutions. We work closely with organizations including EY, UNEP-FI, PCAF, S&P Global Ratings, MUFG, and JP Morgan DFI to ensure alignment with the international standards. So through these partnerships, we conduct GHG emission calculations, second-party opinions, gap assessments, and external assurance. This ensures our green and sustainable financing is credible, transparent, and globally comparable. So for Golomt Bank, sustainable finance is not only about providing capital, it's equally about building capacity. So alongside financing, we invest strongly in education, mentorship, and community development through our non-financial services. And within our SME-focused ecosystem alone, we've organized 11 networking events, engaging more than 1,700 customers and helping to build communities where entrepreneurs can support and learn from one another. We've delivered 684 hours of consulting, conducted 55 training sessions, and supported business owners through 12 mentors and 116 hours of mentoring programs. So these capacity-building efforts strengthen collaboration, reduce barriers to growth, and help make the development journey more clearer, faster, and more achievable for our clients. And in this way, guided by a strong commitment to transparency, integrity, and open engagement, Golomt Bank supports not only sustainable projects, but resilient businesses and lasting impact. So with this being said, we invite global investors to invite in a brighter future together with Golomt Bank. Thank you.